Okay, first of all, I'm praying for the sister because anybody in that much trouble, um, my heart goes out to them. I'll be praying for her exit, but we all know exiting is not always as easy as we'd like it to be. Hopefully, she has good family contact. Hopefully, she has people she can rely on, but she needs to check on her resources, alternative housing, alternative financing, because leaving people, sometimes they don't want to be quick to write a check, and sitting in court waiting for child support, and even though this person's in the service, sometimes it's not worth it. I know there's a lot of mothers out there who say, hey, get the money. But you know what, though? It's about, like we said, safety, peace of mind, and God will provide. So I'll be praying for that her decisions be precise and that she be as they say, quiet as a dove, meek as a dove, but wise as a serpent. But for those who are single, a lot of the issues I've been talking about with my friends and family, when we get married, we usually marry our couple or start becoming a serious couple right where we are at, a lot of times in our infancy of what God has purposed and destined in us. So you meet up with somebody who's equally as scared, frightened, trying to figure themselves out, and it sounds really great for you guys to get together and fight this big world together. But what happens in the interim is somebody starts to grow. Somebody starts to make steps towards where their purpose and destined to be. And every once in a while, you'll find out that you're not really paired up. Well, we're going to talk about, is divorce good? Is it biblical? We can go and look in the Bible, and there are definitely ways of escape. And also, sometimes we drag things to the altar and call it a blessing. Oh, God, look, I got this man, and he sits in church, and oh, look what the Lord has given me. But I think sometimes we bring offerings to the Lord that are not what he has intended for us in the first place. I believe there's a lot of marriages that weren't ordained or purposed from God. And we spend a lot of our times at the altar praying about this man or woman who wasn't who God would have for us in the first place. What I would hope for anybody single on the outside looking in, not to judge her, because it's tough. And again, like some people have said, this gentleman is in the service. There's a lot that goes with that. All that being said, before you get serious, before you get married to him or to her, you need to say, what is the big picture for myself? And make a few actionary steps. And as you're courting this person, see if they're making the same steps towards their goals. That's when you find out if you're really good mates. If you find if you're both the kind of people who have the same thought process, a person that's actionary versus a person that just talks about it. Because there's nothing worse than being paired up with someone who's a talker and you're a doer. Because you'll find yourself dragging them along the way. You'll resent them, they'll hold you back, and they won't appreciate you dragging them, which is sad enough. The song, What's Love Got to Do with It? The love of the Lord has everything to do with it. But the carnal love that most of us operate in is what holds us back. It's okay to love someone, but it doesn't mean you have to marry everybody, just because I love you, you love me. Sometimes it's a mutual love of, I think you're a wonderful person. I love how you make me feel about me. And that person reciprocates. I love how you make me feel about myself. But it doesn't mean you're great mates. If you can, look at what God has purposed. Do that work first. Don't do it together with somebody bumping heads together. If you can, while you're in your infancy, whether that's 22 or 42, and you're saying, God, I know there's more. If you're fortunate, you can find those things out while you're single. And as you make your steps towards that, God will show you who's walking along shoulder to shoulder, who you're great mates with, someone that feeds your soul, feeds your ideas, keeps you motivated, someone that keeps the wind in your sails, and someone, of course, keeps your eyes looking up from whence cometh your help. Because then, as you begin to be the person God's designed, you look to your left or your right, and there they are. And that's a good time to get together. Because there's going to be struggles, there's going to be problems, but some of this drama that we all have experienced is truly not ordained by God. And we got to quit calling it God, saints. We got to quit being in church saying, well, we were born full of trouble. He didn't ask for nobody to get whooped in the face, degraded, um, intimidated, and being frightened. There's nowhere where you're supposed to have to go through those things. Can God heal it? Absolutely. But both have to surrender, not just one. Travailing is great, fasting is amazing. But at the end, it's always about a choice. God made us free will. Amen. So God be with her. God keep her in cover. But for you single people, take time, get quiet, throw on your jazz, your gospel, get quiet and say, what's the big picture for me? plot out some actionary steps. You don't even have to be, be on your road to getting there. Be excited about what God has just for you and the kind of person that's going to be there in the end. And then look at the person you're dating. Hey, love you, you're cool. But if they're really not a part of that, what you see God is for you, it's okay to love folks and let them go. You don't have to disrespect anybody or tear them down to leave them alone. People always wait till they hate somebody to break up. Never that. That's why you shouldn't hate your baby mamas or your baby daddies. You loved them when you was with them. You should be able to love them and walk away when it's not healthy, when it's destructive for both of you. So, I love you. Love you, Ateya. God bless everyone in YouTube land. And God bless this young woman and her husband and the child.